Hello and good day to you. Today's video, we are demonstrating the use of photographic images or image in making a frame in our digital craft technique of 12 crafts of card making. For this project, we'll need a photographic image, digital, graphic software. I'm using Inkscape. It's an open source or free software. You need a printer if you desire to print, and then you need card or paper to print your designs on. When we're making the handmade greeting card, we'll tell you what we need to make the handmade greeting card. I've already opened the software, and thus is an A4 portrait. You can use any size you want. So click on File, and I'll go to Import. You can click on File Open to locate the folder where it is, but I just want to use Import for this one. Locate the image. I'll go for this image and then click Open. A menu pops or a menu appears and it says embed or link. You have to click on one. Click on check embed because you want your image to be a standalone. As it says here, if you link it, you have to move the files together. Means when you are moving the folder, you have to move this image you're going to create with that folder together. If not, you can't find it. So if you click on embed, it's going to stand alone. If you move that file from your folder, that's fine. But if you even move it from your computer, it's not going to affect this image that you're creating. Then click OK. It's a large file, that's why it's taking time for it to load. Okay, here it is. Just going to use the zoom tool to to make sure that the image do not skew or go out of proportion, I'm going to press the Ctrl key on my keyboard, and at the same time place my cursor on this diagonal edge of the border or the selection and just drag. And this is our A4 page, you can see how small it is and how large this image is. The image is about 350 dpi. So here we have our image. I'm just going to click on File, going to say Save As, and I'm going to call this, let me call this 1. Let me place this one on 1. You have to save often. Then on the menu tab here, you have some numbers, the X and Y axis, the width and the height of the selection. I'm going to work in inches, so I'm going to click on this arrow to give me a drop down menu. Then I'll select IN, which is inches. So the width of this image now is 16.6 and the height is 12.4. I can still resize it, pressing my Ctrl key so that it keeps me in proportion. Keeps it in proportion, sorry. And as said earlier, save often. Just click, you can click on the icon here to save it. Select the circle tool because we're going to use a circle. We're going to create a circular frame or circular shape frame. Then I'm going to select take a color of choice. I'll just click on this color palette at the bottom. I'll just click on one of it. We'll change it later. Press the Ctrl key so that it's a perfect circle, and just drag. And here we have our circle. Select the move tool or the selection tool. And if you see if you check the measurement, it's about 10.1 in width and height. So I'm going to resize it to 8. We want the circle to want it to be 8 inches. The circle is selected. At the bottom of the toolbar, you see 2 arrows going towards the right. Click on it. Some other tools that didn't appear in your toolbar, the icons, they are written and you can see them here. Click on dropper to take the eyedropper tool. We want to change the color of the circle, so I'm going to click into this and get a nice violet color. You can zoom in to click into it to select it. Okay, that's nice. So I'll select the circle and I'll duplicate it again and click and fill it with white. Although we can't see it, so we have to resize. I just want to make it thin border. It's not necessary or compulsory, but I just want to make a thin border so that it comes off the page or the work. So I'm going to make that 7.5. I think that's a bit much. 7.5. The circle is going to be 7.5. We can line it. If you want to use grid to line, you can go to view. You can see your grid or your guides here. You can drag your guide on this tab here where you have numbers of the rulers. You can just drag down and you see a guide. A guide will appear. If you drag horizontal guide, drag vertical guide, and you can make them snap. But we don't need guides, so I'm not using guides. I'm going to remove that. All right, we need to make our frame. So I'm going to duplicate on this white layer, the white circle. Take my dropper tool again and pick up a nice green. Then I'll resize that green to the size I want for the frame. I should have resized the green 7.5, then the white. Okay, let me leave the green at 7.5. Then I'll reduce the white. I'll increase the size of the white. Let me say lower. Okay, so that it goes back one, we'll reduce it, we'll bring it back. So now I've activated the white back. I've taken the green to the back of the white. I'll make this white. Let me say 7.8. Oh, 0.8. And I'll make it 7.8. Then I'll take it to the back, object, lower, and it goes to the back of the green, and the green comes up. So I'm just going to line it properly, the white. Okay, you can use your arrow key, the arrow key on your keyboard to line it. Just doing that free-handed. Okay. So we have 7.8, 7.5. Can make this one 7.6 so that it will be 2. Okay, let me make it 7.6, the green. So I'll go for 7.6. Let me have a thin border. Okay, that's fine. And just zoom out a bit. I'm going to view, zoom out. Okay. And I'll save. So now I want to make our frame. I'm going to take this green and duplicate it. Right click on it and duplicate it, and I'll move it on the photographic image. So here we have it, but I want more of the photographic image to be in this shape. Just going to right click on, I'm going to press the Ctrl key, select the photographic image alone, then press on the Ctrl key and drag it. Ctrl key, stay press down, drag it to put it in proportion. That's to rescale it. And I think I like this. I'll have more of the violet. Can still resize it a little. Ctrl key down and resize it. But make sure your image is larger than the shape, because you don't want a transparent, when you clip it, you don't want a transparent side of the to be clipped. Let me save. So just selecting both together, I'm going to duplicate and keep one, because I'm going to use this other one. I want to first of all do one technique, then I'll tell you the other technique. This first technique, now we have this circle. We can duplicate this circle again, and I'll fill this one with, let me move it back up, okay, and I'll fill it with a red. Then I'll resize this circle. I just want to put I'm going to still working in inches. I'm going to resize this red circle to about 4. I'll make it 4 inches, and I'll put it in between just to fit it properly. So I'm going to select just these 2 circles without the, so I'm moving the image, the photographic image, to the side. I'm just using this circle, these 2 circles. I'm going to select them together, and then I'll go to path and difference. It's going to cut into the circle, into the green circle for me, the larger circle. Then I'll bring this image in, photographic image. I'll place the, like an annulus shape over the photographic image. I'll select both of them together, then I'll go to object, clip, and set, and it will clip it. This is another way of creating a frame. Then we can put a sentiment in here. Let me save this one first. So this, so I'm going to move this shape that's like an annulus, this frame that's like an annulus shape. I'm going to move it to the right, and I'll move the other one to the left. So I just move it up here first. Then I'll select the photographic image and this circular shape together, and the circle together, and move it so that we'll work on this. So we've made this the first technique, and we've made it. We've done it. We need to do the second technique. Select the photographic image and the circle together. Go to Object, Clip, and Clip Set. And here you have a nice circle. I'm just going to save. Then you move it and place it on the and layer it on the image. Sorry, on the other circle shape or circular shape. And then you layer it. Can line it properly. If you don't want to, if you find it difficult to line it, you can make this green, this green here, you can turn it, you can fill it with white so that your mistake do not show. So just go to it. Because we don't need that green there, we just need we wanted it because of the frame we are creating. So take the circle tool, again the shape tool, create a circle, and this time our circle is going to measure 4 inches. So then take the dropper tool with this the new circle you created, that is the 4-inch circle still selected. Take the dropper tool and pick a color of choice. I'm going to take the violet. Then duplicate the 4-inch circle. You can fill it with white if you want to, and we're going to make it about 3.8. Line it properly. Oh, I mistakenly pressed something and delete on the keyboard instead of the R key to line it. Okay, so here it is. Select both together and you place it and you layer it. So now you have a nice frame. I'll take this text tool, just click on it in the tool palette, and I'll use the text best wishes. I'm using Accord Heavy SF. The size don't matter, we're going to resize it there. So I'll press the Ctrl key and drag it diagonally so that it keeps it in proportion. The Ctrl key on my keyboard. You can still take the text tool if you want to arrange it. Okay, I think that's all right. I like it this way. Then you can fill it in. Press the Ctrl key if you want to resize it so that it keeps its proportion. Select the sentiment, the best wishes sentiment, or the sentiment you have created, then click on, then fill it with a color of choice. I've taken the eyedropper tool and filled it with the violet so that it coordinates. You select the sentiment again and duplicate it. If you click on this fill at the bottom of your work surface, you will see the fill and stroke there. There's a tab for it. If you click into the color, not the color palette, there's just a color written fill and stroke. The cursor is on it now. If you click on it, this menu window will appear with this information. So I'm going to select a light shade. A lilac is alright. Just select it and you will notice it's being previewed. It will show on your work. So this duplicated sentiment, I want to give an effect, add an effect to it, or filter. I'll go to filters, blur, apparition. And if you take a closer look at it, you will see that there's kind of highlights on it. If you have used the lighter shade, let me save my work first because the software has been crashing. That's why I save often. So if you use if you don't like the highlight it's giving, you can come in here into your color palette and change it, and you see the more, if I make it dark, it's going to be dark. If I make it light, you can see the effect on it. You decide what you want. Just use the slider and move into any one you desire. So I'm going to now we have our image, but if we want to print, I'm going to move this, select them together and move them. And if we want to print, I'm going to take this, duplicate it, that's the frame, duplicate it and place it on this A4 page. Then I can take the sentiment. Since I'm going to use cardstock to create the design, there's no need of me taking this. I can take duplicate the sentiment and bring it in just to make sure it's going to fit when I cut. Then I can place a circle around it and cut, just to make sure I have the right but I can decide on what I want. So this is for printing to make our card. We have to export it, so I'm going to select it together. I'm going to click on File, Export Bitmap. A window appear with menu. I'm going to pick on, move it up a little. The DPI is going to be 300 because it's print, and I'm going to take selection. If I say page, it's going to take everything on the page. I don't want that, so I'm taking selection and DPI 300. When you click into any of them, it sets it. Locate your folder, the folder you want to save it in. So I'm going to save it here and type a name. I'll call this one frame card A4 print, and I'll click save on this. It saves in PNG, portable network graphics. Then you click on export so that it saves it. Close our work and then you save, because you have done some alteration, so you need to save your work. Now we've done the technique of creating frames. This is by layering. The first one we did is by punching into the design. The second one is by layering. Let's meet on the work surface where we create a handmade greeting card. So let's meet on the work surface where we'll create the handmade greeting card. We are now on the work surface to make the handmade greeting card. And to make our greeting card, we need liquid glue, card, 8-inch card. I've already printed the logo at the back. We need a printed sheet, our printable. And I've already made another one. I use it as an insert. I've cut it out. I just cut this one out. We need card for layering. I'm using green and lilac. Need foam pads. Scissors is optional to cut the shape. I'll be using dies to cut because they are just geometric shapes. So I'll just use the die to cut it. Because I'm using dies, we need a we need die cutting and embossing machine. So I'm using the tattered lace crossover die cutter or embosser, and I'm using the grand caliber plate. You can use a plate that came with the machine, but I have this plate and I have to use them, and this plate can fit into the crossover. So let's start making our card. I've already cut some templates out, some shapes for layering. I'll put those ones aside and we'll have to cut another one. We'll have to cut some others to join. And the tattered lace die that I'm using large circles and essential circles. So I'm going to take the card shape, the portrait card, 8-inch portrait, because I've printed my logo in the portrait fashion, and I'm going to cut. I'll make sure that the die is a bit above the fold because I want it to open. I want the card to open. So I'm just going to cut that. And I'll put these other ones aside. Because I'm using the grand caliber plates, I can use knob 1 or 1 on the indicator. So I'm just trying to make sure I leave that fold line there. and it did not cut into the fold. So we've cut into it and we have our circle card. Before we start working on this, okay, we can bring this back. Let's work and when we need it, we'll bring it. So to layer it, I'm going to put the, okay, make sure I put it the right way. Okay, I'm going to put the purple first, or lilac, then I'll put the green. Then I'll cut the other shape. So I'm going to glue the green first to this. Because the green is smaller than the lilac, that's why I'm putting the glue on the green. If I put the glue on the lilac to attach to the green, I might smear my work because the green, because I won't know the exact place to put the, when to stop, where the glue needs to stop. Except I put a mark on the lilac. So we'll layer this to the front of the card. When I use glue, I prefer opening my card because I don't want them to glue together. Just being cautious. And make sure you don't get glue too much glue to the end, to the edge of your work. You don't want it to smear out. Then for the insert, I'll just put this inside. I've already prepared the insert before. And little glue. We don't need to add too much glue. Just want to recheck. Okay. So while we allow that to dry, I'm going to glue this topper first, which I cut out before we start cutting. Don't want to misplace the pieces. This is the topper where the sentiment best wishes is going to be on. So let's glue it first and get it ready. So I'm going to put this aside and then bring the die cutting machine. And we are going to die cut this circle shape. We're going to die cut those best wishes out, and what else are we die cutting? Okay, that's the first ones for now. We'll do the other ones. So let me just layer it. Get the die for this. You can use low tack tape to stick it. So for today, I'm just going to put the low tack tape. Normally, I don't really use them, but I'm just going to do that today. Not going to let it go into my work. I'm just going to put it on the die and outside. So work. Just don't want it to move. And here it is, we've cut it out. I'm going to put this to the side. We have another one to cut. That's for the sentiment. I'm trying to make something like an ISO card, circular ISO card. So I need a die to fit that size. The die should be smaller than this. Just want to cut into this shape. And I think that's all. I was planning to make something like an ISO card, but I just changed my mind because I made a mistake. So I have to do it on another project, or when we are doing another project. So I just leave this circular card like that. Changed my mind because I made a mistake. I shouldn't have glued them, just cut, but going too far for that now. So I'm going to glue this. Make sure it's right way. I want it to be. And then we'll glue this on top so that we have our nice frame. The photographic image will act as a frame. And then we'll glue this This little one we designed again, we just resize it. I'm going to put it. I have one tiny dot. Where is the little dot? I cut out a very tiny circle from the die. Using a die, I'll just place it so that it acts as a small topper too, very tiny topper. I wanted to use as a stopper for the ISO card, but since we didn't make the ISO card again, I'll just put it close to this here. Or I can just leave it. Alright, let me glue so that we can finish it. This tiniest die here was what I used in cutting this circle. The smallest die here was what I used in cutting this circle. Alright, let's glue. And then I'll glue this little topper on so that we can have our desired frame. Should I say layered frame? So here we have our topper card. So here we have our frame card. The photographic image has been used as a frame as we designed. And we have a nice insert. I'm still... Okay, let me glue it and put it up here. I'll add this little one. It's going to be a very teeny weeny frame. This time, let me use the 3D sticky foam pad. And place it at the back. Then I'll place it here. So we still have a frame. Thank you for joining me for this video of 12 crafts of card making, technique of digital craft, a focus on photographic cards used as a frame in this greeting card. You can visit the blog anino.ogunjobi.com to keep up with what's happening in the crafting industry. And until then, happy crafting.